This interview is being conducted for the Twechar, a Novel History of a Pit Village project. My name is Ross and I'm respondent Sandra Sutton. This is the 30th November 2016 and the interview is taking place at Twechar Healthy Living Enterprise Centre. Thank you very much for agreeing to be interviewed for this project. For the record, would you please confirm your name?
Sandra Sutton.
Where were you born?
Twechar.
Where do you live now?
I still live in Twechar.
What were the local industries? Who were the main employers?
Well, when I was wee there was still some pits when I was really young at primary school, and then there was a mine as well. Then people worked in the foundry in Tulloch, and some people worked in the brickwork as well that was in Twechar. That was a big employer, but when I was wee, mostly the pits or the brickwork.
What can you tell me about the village in terms of shops, vans, pubs or local characters?
Oh well, when I was wee there was loads of vans. It was great because you never had any supermarkets. I know you don't think I'm that old, but there was no supermarkets when I was wee. So we had vans every day. So you had the baker's van that came every day, you had the butcher's, you had the fish van came a couple of days. We even had a van that came just maybe once a month, and it was the hot donut van. It just sold hot donuts. Brilliant. You had the rag and bone man, so it was just vans for everything.
What transport was available when you were young?
Well, I'm not that old. So there was buses, there was big double-decker buses, and because hardly anybody had cars, the buses used to be full all the time, so we had buses every half hour going to Kilsyth, Tulloch and Glasgow. And they used to go two routes. They used to go the Bolton Road to Tulloch, and used to also go the top way, so you had the choice. And the bus used to, on the hour, it went up Alexander Avenue side of the scheme, and the half hour it went up Kelvin View side of the scheme.
What can you tell me about Twechar's history?
Well, really the history is the mines. I mean, that's the kind of local history. The Antonine Wall runs right through Twechar, so you know that's now got World Heritage status. But to be honest, when I was growing up, we never really knew anything about the Antonine Wall, and it was kind of in the 70s. Some archaeologists came out to do some research, and that's when they kind of put the information about the Antonine Wall there. But when I was growing up, you know, we never really thought anything about it. We played up there all the time. It's a great place, it's got great views, and we always went up. But it was Castle Hill, it was named locally. It was never Bar Hill or the Antonine Wall. And then the canal, of course, there's the heritage of the canal. When I was growing up, the canal was all shut up, and it was, you know, full of dead animals and shopping trolleys and things like that. It was horrible. And then they decided to open up the canal and have it open for the millennium. And so it's brilliant now because you can see the boats and everything going up and down.
Would you tell me about Twechar Healthy Living Enterprise Centre?
Well, the Twechar Healthy Living Enterprise Centre is a social enterprise and a development trust run by the community. It was the Twechar Leisure and Recreation Centre, which was run by the council, and the council decided they couldn't afford to run it because it was a big cost to them because the village was so wee and there wasn't enough people using it. So they decided to shut it down in 2000 and just use it for storing plastic windows and doors and for the council projects. But the Healthy Living Centre has the showers that's for the fitba team, for the fitba park. So if the centre shut, it meant there wasn't going to be a local fitba team. And every mining village is famous for their fitba and their fitba players that all produce really good fitba teams. So that was a major blow to them not having the showers. So a couple of the guys that were on the fitba team, when they heard that was happening, that it was going to get shut down, they barricaded themselves in it and phoned people and things like that to come down, and the community barricaded themselves all about the centre and says to the council, you know, you're not getting it, you're not taking it. So at the time, you know, it was a bit, you know, chaotic, but the council did say, right, well, you can have it, but we're not giving you any money to run it. So if you take it, you have to fund the money to run it. So we had to start looking at how could we run it, because it didn't make any money as a council building, so how was it going to make money for us? So we had to start on a plan of action to turn it from being a leisure and recreation centre into Twechar Healthy Living and Enterprise Centre and look at what we really needed. So now the building's completely different. You know, it's got the sports facilities that we had, but it's also got some new things like a pharmacy, a GP satellite surgery. It's all the youth activities and everything run through it, and it is a one-stop shop for the community.
What issues did you face when trying to improve the centre?
Well, there was funding issues. It was getting people on board, I have to say, because Twechar had really went downhill when the pits shut and there wasn't local employment. A lot of the hospitals that people worked in, Lennox Castle, the Woodley, they all became turned into care and community projects, so these hospitals shut down. So there was high unemployment at this time. So the biggest thing was actually trying to get people to be positive and believe that we could actually do it. That was my biggest challenge, because people were just like, they'll never let us do it, it'll never happen, they'll never let you run youth clubs, young man's will only be allowed into volunteer, and it was just trying to get people to have faith in us and make it happen.
How did the idea to renovate the centre come about?
Because it was getting closed and we knew that it couldn't run just as the showers and toilets for the fitness team, so we looked at, what do we need today to make it work, and we wanted a decent cafe, we wanted a doctor's surgery, a pharmacy, so we had what they call consultation meetings. We get the community to all come together and say, what do you really like or no like about Twechar, what do you want to change, and everybody says they wanted jobs, so we knew we had to do things with employability. So we've got a gardening project attached to it that trains people in employability. People can work in the cafe, people can work in the youth club, before school clubs, older people's groups. So the big thing was about employability.
Did you achieve everything you wanted?
Well, we're a work in progress, as they say. We've actually achieved a lot more than what we thought we could. We could have started off saying a big thing was for young people to be in the building and get young people off the streets and have them been involved and have their say, and have somewhere for them to go. But doing that type of thing doesn't earn you any money to pay the electricity bills and that, so we had to look at what does earn us money and look at employability projects and different things. New having like the breakfast club, the after school activities, all the different groups, the pharmacy, the doctor, the gardening project, everything. When we started out, we were just thinking it was going to be a community hub, but we have achieved a lot more, but we've still got plans, more to happen.
What is your role now?
My role now is still community worker, and I concentrate on employability. I was the community regeneration manager for 5 years, and my job there was to get this building renovated, turn it into what the community needed, and get the community involved, and get involved with all the new housing, because that's what the regeneration was. There wasn't any sense in doing all this if we still didn't have good housing and people didn't want to move to the village and things like that. We need to get the population up. But now, rather than concentrating on the full village, because the new house is never getting built, I concentrate on trying to get people into training and employability within the centre and get them jobs out with the centre.
Tell me about the staff at the centre.
At the moment we've got 34 staff, which I think a lot of people don't realise the amount of staff that we've got. We've got some really good people, some good characters. We've got a lot of people that live in Twechar, and we've also got people that are in the neighbouring areas, Cumbernauld, Kilsyth, Kittentulloch and Croy. But the staff have to be able to be adaptable and be willing to do all different jobs. So if you work here and you work in the office, but the cafe staff phone in sick, then you have to be willing to work in the cafe. And it's the same if you're working in the cafe and the office staff get home at the end of the day, then you have to be willing to answer the phone and take. And that's how it works, because everybody helps each other with their jobs.
What do you like best about it?
I like that it's always a challenge. It's stressful, but it's a challenge in the fact that we can really make things happen. A lot of people just think they just moan about the council or they just moan about the health board. We never get anything, we're no worth it and that type of thing, but they just really moan. And I think what we've done at Twechar is, instead of moaning, we've been active and we've thought, well, the council don't have any money or the health board don't have any money, how can we do it? And look for different ways to do it. And it gets everybody involved, everybody enjoys it then, because you've got volunteers, although we've got that amount of staff, do you know what I mean? We've got over 100 volunteers when you add up all the young volunteers and all the older people, from minibus drivers to people working with the elderly, working in the youth clubs. So,
what do you like least about the centre?
Trying to find the funding, that's my most stressful bit. My job is trying to find funding to make things happen. It is the most stressful thing, but it's great when you get it. But when you get the funding as well, you have to do all the monitoring and reporting, because there isn't anybody that gives you grants that just lets you do what you want with the grants. So there's a lot of work once you get the funding. There's a lot of paperwork that goes with that as well.
Has Twechar changed since you arrived in the village, and if so, how?
Well, It's changed, and I would say it's changed for the better. It was a great wee place when I was growing up, and then I went away to London, and then I came back when I got married. So I have been at the village, so I have seen the changes. When I was growing up, it was great because it was safe, and to be honest, I didn't really realise that I was poor. You know, the people were all friendly, and there were loads of cousins and aunties and everything, and I didn't realise I was really quite a poor family. And knew that, you know, I've grew up and I've realised what it was like. People didn't have jobs, or they had very low paid jobs. I still can think it was a really great wee happy village. But the good thing now about being back is people kind of remember their times and people really know each other well, so they're willing to help out and do the volunteering and that. So a lot of people that were in work that are retired now help out, and the good thing is, you know, we create jobs. So like kind of the bit when I was a kind of older teenager into my 30s was probably the worst bit staying in Twechar, because that was when unemployment was really high. When I was wee, I didn't notice it, and then when it was the age, you know what I mean, when I was having a young family, you know, that was when I probably did realise, you know, that, you know, Twechar wasn't a very rich area at all. But now it's rich in positivity. It might not still have a lot of money in it. There's people of all different backgrounds stay here now, which is really, really great. But the one thing it's rich in community spirit.
Over the years, were you aware of any issues affecting the local community?
Aye, different things happened when unemployment and poverty come in. You know, a lot of problems start, so we did have a lot of problems here with addiction at one point because of the poor quality housing, and we had an abundance of one-bedroom cottage flats. And people who had families and they didn't want to stay in these. Then we ended up, we got a lot of people from all different areas who didn't particularly want to come and stay in Twechar because they didn't like village life. They were used to supermarkets, they were used to having a bank in their doorstep and that type of thing, so they only really came because they were getting a house. And you know, there was issues then that we had to take action with the amount of you know, problems with, you know, addiction, drugs and alcohol, and we've tackled that a fair bit. So that's been good, but there's been all sorts of issues that way.
Can you recall any community campaigns in Twechar?
Aye, well, there was a campaign to save the centre. So there was this campaign to save the centre. Back then, it would have been in 2000, as I say. And then there was a campaign that I was a founder member in, and that was Mothers Against Drugs. And we campaigned to get the drug problem sorted out in Twechar. And we did that for about 5 years, and it was very successful. We did a lot of awareness with young people to try and diversion stuff, try and get young people involved in other opportunities rather than down the road drinking drugs.
Have you ever been active in politics?
Well, I've never wanted to be a politician. I have been asked by various parties if I would be interested in being a local councillor, but I've never really been interested. I felt as a community activist I can actually get more done by no linking in with just the one political party. Back in the day as well, when I was younger, you know, there was miners' strikes, you know, and that was... It was horrendous that the miners were on strike and didn't have any money, but it did really bring the community together. The miners' wives, you know, ran food kitchens and the miners' welfare. You know, you could go there and get your lunch and your dinner, and these wives did all the food for it. So that was, you know, it brought people together. Although it was, you know, it was a bad thing that was happening, it actually brought people together.
How do you feel about changes within Twechar over the last 30 years?
I think it's positive changes now. There has been a lot of changes, but I would say it's positive changes, and sometimes, you know, you have to be down there to be able to, you know, work your way back up. So it's definitely good. I would say, you know, it's a thriving wee village, and I could only see better things for the future.
Do you think that overall Twechar still has a strong identity as a community?
Oh aye, I think it does even more so. I mean, the people who move away from Twechar, whether they've went abroad to work or they've immigrated or they've moved to neighbouring towns, they still really have a link in with, you know, being from Twechar. They don't tend to forget that they're, you know, they're from Twechar. I think people, when I was younger, I never thought I would be like that. I did think, oh, especially when you're a teenager, there's nothing here and that type of thing. But now, do you know what I mean, that I'm a grandparent, you know, I realise all the benefits that we have living in a wee rural community.
What do you think could be done to improve the area?
Well, we're getting a lot of stuff done now with the new housing, so that's good. If we get the population up, we're trying to get the population up to 2,000. It's only 1,300 now. So we get the population up to 2,000, then it will mean that we'll get a better bus service. There isn't enough people living here to, for the years to have a better bus service and a better link to the trains. But if we keep building these houses as we're doing in the regeneration, more people will move in. Some people are moving back. People that moved away from Twechar because they wanted to get a nice house and there was enough nice houses. Some of them are moving back, and we've got brand new people. So I think for to get better bus services and things like that. But as far as the surrounding areas and that type of thing, we've done a lot of work clearing up any kind of unsightly areas and that type of thing, and improving paths for nice walks that link us to the neighbouring villages.
What are your hopes for the future of Twechar?
My hope is that the Healthy Living Centre goes from strength to strength, that we become sustainable, that we don't have to rely on grant funding. It would be great, if we can have a variety of different projects in here that mean that the Healthy Living Centre will always be here, and we don't have to worry about budget cuts or funding for different organisations.
Finally, can you sum up what you think is the worst thing about Twechar?
The worst thing? Actually, there isn't anything that bad that I can think about. I just really like it. No, I can't think anything that's that bad.
What do you think is the best thing about Twechar?
The best thing's the people. The people rally round about, and if anything happens, or if anybody's doing in their luck, or if there's any kind of bereavement or any illness, that's the best thing. You always know there is always somebody you can go to in Twechar, or you don't even need to go to them, because if you're doing your luck, somebody will come to you, and that's the best thing about people actually caring for each other.
Thank you for taking this survey and for sharing your memories.
It was a pleasure, Ross.
Take